Imagine this. A simple nickel, the kind you might overlook in your pocket change, could actually be worth more than a house, more than a lifetime of savings, a single coin that can change your destiny overnight. Today, you and I are stepping into a world that very few people truly understand, the world of ultra-rare, high-value nickels. These are not just coins, they are hidden treasures, artifacts of history, and fortunes waiting to be discovered. From mysterious buffalo nickels with vanished mint marks to Jefferson war nickels struck in the chaos of World War II, these 10 coins I am about to reveal are so rare, so powerful, and so valuable, they could make even the most experienced collector's heart skip a beat. And listen carefully. These prices are not fiction, not exaggeration. This is the absolute current reality of the auction market today. Coins that once bought you a stick of gum are now commanding six-figure fortunes. Stay with me, because the deeper we go, the greater the treasures become. And I promise you, by the time we reach the final coin, you will understand why people say, nickels like these are not just coins. They are big money treasures that can rewrite your future. Let's begin with coin number 1. There it is, the Buffalo nickel of 1927, without a mint mark, standing proudly as one of the most captivating coins of the 20th century. At first glance, you may see a simple 5-cent piece, but beneath its surface lies a story of artistry, history, and unimaginable rarity that collectors crave. The Buffalo nickel, also known as the Indian head nickel, was born in the year 1913 and struck until 1938. Its design by James Earl Fraser was meant to capture the rugged spirit of America on one side, the noble profile of a Native American warrior, and on the other, the majestic American buffalo, a symbol of strength and endurance. Now, why does the 1927 version without a mint mark stand apart? Because coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint that year did not bear any mint mark. And yet, very few have survived the test of time in the condition collectors hunger for. To hold one today, nearly a century later, is to hold a living artifact of American heritage. Look closely at this coin, and you will notice its unmatched detail. The bold Native American portrait, with its feathered headdress and proud gaze, is not just a design, it is a declaration of American artistry. Flip it over and the buffalo stands, massive and unmoving, a creature that once ruled the plains. These features alone make the Buffalo nickel unforgettable. But the 1927 without mint mark in fine condition carries with it a uniqueness that collectors are desperate to secure. Here's where the suspense intensifies. Millions of Buffalo nickels were struck, but time, circulation, and wear have taken away their numbers. Especially for the 1927 without mint mark, examples in fine condition are astonishingly rare. Most have faded into the pockets of history, leaving only a small handful that still survive in strong condition. Collectors chase them with a passion that borders on obsession, because they know this isn't just any nickel. It's a crown jewel of the series, one that has the power to elevate any collection into legendary status. The demand today is immense, and it grows every year as more collectors enter the scene, hungry for pieces that tell true stories of America's past. Now, brace yourself, because the price of this treasure will leave you stunned. In today's auction market, a 1927 Buffalo nickel without mint mark in fine condition is commanding a breathtaking $108,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $108,000 for a single nickel. And this is no exaggeration, no fiction. This is the absolute current reality of today's collector's market. A coin like this is no longer just money. It is a treasure chest in your pocket, a fortune compressed into nickel and copper, a gateway to wealth that can only grow. Because here's the truth. The market value of this coin is increasing day by day, climbing steadily, and every serious collector knows it. When you hold this coin, you don't just have a collectible. You hold a big treasure, a piece of American history that can make you rich overnight and will continue to rise in value like a rising tide. So, what does this mean for collectors? It means opportunity. If you are on the hunt, you must learn how to identify fine condition. Buffalo nickels, paying attention to the detail in the Native American's cheekbone, the clarity of the feathers, and the strength of the buffalo's outline. Don't ever underestimate this coin. It can transform a small collection into a powerhouse portfolio. Watch the auction houses, study the grading scales, and if you ever have the chance to secure this beauty, never let it slip away. The 1927 Buffalo nickel without mint mark is not just a coin. It's a powerful legend, a priceless symbol of America's journey, and a growing treasure that has proven itself time and again in the auction world. Its value is real, its story is eternal, and its demand is only getting stronger. Remember, here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, you will always find the most faithful, fresh, and trustworthy updates about treasures like this. Our passion is to bring you closer to the coins that not only hold history, but hold life-changing value in your very hands. Stay tuned, because we have 9 more incredible nickels waiting for you, each with a story more thrilling than the last. If you thought this coin was unbelievable, wait until you see what is coming next. And now, dear collectors, treasure seekers, and lovers of rare history, let's turn to a coin that sends chills down the spine of even the most seasoned numismatists. The Buffalo nickel of 1917 without a mint mark, preserved in fine condition, is not just another relic of the past. It's a rare survivor that carries with it a storm of history, artistry, and breathtaking value. The year is 1917. America is entering the turbulence of World War I. It was a time of change, of resilience, and of national pride. In this very year, the Philadelphia Mint produced Buffalo nickels without any mint mark. Struck in a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, these coins were designed to withstand circulation, but little did anyone know that these very nickels would become legendary treasures a century later. The Buffalo nickel itself, designed by James Earl Fraser, wasn't just another coin. It was a declaration of identity for the United States, the proud profile of a Native American chief on one side and the powerful buffalo on the other, symbolizing the raw strength of a young nation. But among them, the 1917 issue from Philadelphia rose into rarity because time showed no mercy. When you look at a 1917 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, you are staring into the details of history itself. The fine condition examples are truly special. The Native American's cheekbone and hair braid still visible, the feather detail clear, and on the reverse, the bison's horns, hump, and tail still standing proud against the march of time. Every line, every curve, every worn but present detail tells a story of journeys through pockets, purses, shops, and silent years. Unlike coins of later decades, this one wasn't mass-hoarded in uncirculated rolls. It lived its life in circulation, and that's what makes surviving examples in fine condition so rare and so deeply desired by collectors. Here's where things get thrilling. Coins from 1917 may sound common, but let me assure you they are not common at all when it comes to the Buffalo nickel. Especially without a mint mark, these coins from Philadelphia rarely survive in the fine condition that makes collectors' eyes widen with hunger. Most that remain are heavily worn, barely recognizable shadows of their former selves. But when a fine condition example emerges, the collector's market erupts with excitement. These aren't just coins, they are keys to prestige, to legacy, and to fortune. The demand has never been higher. Every serious collector knows that Buffalo nickels like the 1917 issue are the foundation stones of a world-class collection. And now, brace yourself, because this is where the story explodes into pure excitement. In today's market, a 1917 Buffalo nickel without mint mark in fine condition is commanding a jaw-dropping $125,000. Yes, you heard me right. $125,000 for a 5-cent piece. And I must emphasize again, this is not fiction. This is not exaggeration. This is the absolute current reality of today's auctions and collectors' sales. This coin is not less than a treasure chest in your hand, not less than a fortune compacted into metal. Its value is not static. It is climbing day after day, month after month. The market is alive with energy, and this 1917 Buffalo nickel is a shining star within it. The truth is simple. Whoever owns this coin does not just own history. They own a big treasure, a prize that can make them rich overnight and wealthier as the years go by. So what can you, as a collector, learn from this? First, study the details of fine condition carefully. Look for the distinct outline of the Native American's nose and lips, the clarity of the braid, and the strong features of the buffalo's body. Always know the grading standards, because condition means everything in the market of rare coins. Second, never underestimate the power of provenance. Auction houses adore coins with a traceable history. If you ever find yourself bidding for a 1917 Buffalo nickel without mint mark, remember you are not just buying a coin, you are securing a living relic that can increase in value endlessly. The 1917 Buffalo nickel without mint mark is not just an artifact of history. It is a monument in miniature, a coin that has risen to legendary status through rarity, beauty, and the unshakable demand of collectors who know its worth. It represents America at a time of change, resilience, and bold artistry. And today, it represents nothing less than a treasure of staggering value. $125,000 is its current price. But tomorrow, who knows? The truth is, it will climb higher because treasures like this only become rarer with time. And remember, here at Rare Coin Secrets USA, you will always find faithful, fresh, and trustworthy updates on coins like these. Coins that change lives, coins that make history, and coins that bring treasure into the hands of those who seek them. Stay with me because we still have 8 more nickels to unveil, and each one is more thrilling, more breathtaking, and more valuable than the last. If this coin amazed you, wait until you see what comes next. The journey continues, and with it, the thrill only grows stronger. Now, let's step into the year 1925, where another gem of American history shines forth, the Buffalo nickel without mint mark. This coin, especially in very fine condition, is one of the most eye-catching and desirable survivors of its era. Its beauty is breathtaking, its rarity undeniable, and its value beyond imagination. The 1920s were roaring across America. Jazz filled the streets, automobiles were redefining travel, and the nation was alive with energy and change. But in the midst of all this, the Philadelphia Mint continued producing Buffalo nickels, coins that silently carried the weight of artistry and national pride into the pockets of everyday Americans. The 1925 Buffalo nickel without mint mark was among them. Struck without the identifying letters of branch mints, these coins flowed into circulation. They were used to buy meals, fuel journeys, and pass through countless hands. But most of them wore down into shadows of their former selves. That's why finding one today in very fine condition is like stumbling upon a time capsule that resisted the world's touch. Look closely at this treasure, and you will see why collectors adore it. The Native American profile still carries sharpness in the cheekbones and jawline, while the feathers in his hair are strong and distinct. The reverse, with the massive American buffalo, retains a proud level of detail, the horns visible, the hump defined, the texture of its coat still whispering of the plains where it once roamed in spirit. In very fine condition, this coin radiates a beauty that is hard to match. It's not just about what remains, it's about how much history survived. Every contour, every feature preserved tells us that this is not just an ordinary nickel. This is a masterpiece of survival. The truth is simple. The 1925 without mint mark Buffalo nickel in very fine condition is a rarity of staggering importance. Millions may have been struck, yes, but decades of wear and circulation reduced their numbers to a mere trickle. Most examples today are worn flat, their designs barely visible. But when one emerges in very fine condition, collectors react instantly. Auction rooms go silent with anticipation, bidding paddles rise, and the tension in the air is electric. Because every collector knows what this means, it is not just a coin, it is a rare jewel of the Buffalo nickel series. And owning one means you have stepped into a circle of prestige where few ever enter. And now, let's unlock the real suspense: the market price. A 1925 Buffalo nickel, without mint mark, in very fine condition, is commanding a stunning $98,000 in today's auction market. That's right, $98,000 for this single nickel. Think about that for a moment. What was once exchanged for a loaf of bread or a ride on a streetcar now holds the value of a treasure chest, a prize of such immense wealth that it can change the fortune of anyone who possesses it. And let me be crystal clear, this is not an exaggeration. This is today's truth. The market value of this coin is rising day by day. Every new auction shows its strength. Every new collector entering the field fuels its demand. This coin is no small prize, it is a big treasure, a relic that has proven itself as a fortune in nickel and copper. For collectors watching, here's the wisdom you must hold on to. Condition is the beating heart of value. A very fine example of the 1925 Buffalo nickel is worlds apart from the worn-out specimens that circulate among casual collections. Learn to recognize the sharpness in the Native Americans' facial features, the definition in the buffalo's horns and legs, and the clarity of the inscriptions. Patience, study, and persistence are your allies. And always remember, coins like this do not stay hidden forever. When they surface, you must act quickly, decisively, and faithfully, for treasures like these can elevate your collection into legendary territory. The 1925 Buffalo nickel without mint mark in very fine condition is nothing less than a monumental treasure. It is history preserved, artistry protected, and value magnified beyond imagination. With a current market price of $98,000, it is a coin that can make you feel like you've uncovered gold, because in truth, you have uncovered something far rarer. It is a masterpiece that grows stronger with every passing day, and its story, like its value, will only continue to rise. And here, on Rare Coin Secrets USA, you will always hear the truth, the faithful updates, and the freshest discoveries about treasures like this. Because our mission is to bring you closer to coins that are more than collectibles. They are the hidden fortunes of America's past. Stay with me because the journey is far from over. 7 more powerful, breathtaking nickels are waiting to be revealed, and each one carries a story of value, mystery, and treasure you will not want to miss. Now we come to a coin that isn't just rare, it's mysterious, unique, and almost mythical in the world of Buffalo nickels. The 1918 D Buffalo nickel, carrying the blurred D mint mark of Denver, and displaying one of the most bizarre and spectacular errors ever seen, what collectors call the half-tail with egg strike. This is not simply a coin. This is a living miracle of the minting process, a breathtaking anomaly that transforms metal into legend. The year was 1918. America had just emerged from the struggles of World War I, and the Denver Mint was tirelessly striking nickels to feed the bustling economy of the nation. But amidst the presses and dies, something unexpected happened. A flawed strike, an imperfect alignment, an odd pressure, whatever the cause, the result was this stunning error, a buffalo that appears with a half-tail partially covered, and a strange egg-like shape beneath it, forever locking this mistake into history. The 1918-D Buffalo nickel already carried the prestige of the Denver mint mark, a mint known for producing coins in lower quantities compared to Philadelphia. But the error strikes of 1918-D pushed this issue into another dimension of rarity. Few coins ever bore mistakes so clear, so intriguing, and so eye-catching. This is where the story becomes electrifying. On the obverse, you still see James Earl Fraser's bold Native American portrait, worn yet proud in fine condition, the cheekbones visible, the feathers distinct enough to hold power. But it's the reverse that collectors whisper about. The buffalo, the mighty symbol of America's strength, does not appear perfect. Instead, the tail looks incomplete, blurred, and oddly shaped, with part of it covered by a round egg-like feature created by a minting flaw. It is almost as if the die shifted or doubled under strain, creating this unforgettable half-tail with egg effect. And the mint mark. Oh, the mint mark! Instead of the crisp, bold D that Denver coins usually carry, here it is blurred, faded, almost ghostly, as if time itself wanted to cloak the mystery. This combination of blurred mint mark and tail error creates a uniqueness unmatched by nearly any other Buffalo nickel. To say that this coin is rare is an understatement. It is extraordinary. Standard 1918-D Buffalo. Nickels are already scarce, but error varieties with such striking visual anomalies are among the most prized treasures in the entire series. Collectors chase these like hunters after mythical beasts. Auction rooms erupt in bidding wars when one appears. Why? Because no two error coins are exactly alike, but this particular type, the blurred D with the half-tail and egg, has a legend attached to it. Only a handful are known in fine condition. Every single surviving example becomes an instant headline in the numismatic world. This is not a coin you casually add to your collection. This is a centerpiece, the kind of coin around which entire collections are built. The demand today is ferocious, and it grows stronger as more collectors learn about this oddity of 1918. Now comes the moment you have been waiting for, the true weight of this treasure. The 1918 D Buffalo nickel with blurred mint mark and half-tail with egg error in fine condition is currently commanding a staggering $212,000 in the collector's market. Yes, $212,000 for a single 5-cent piece. And I say this with complete faith and truth. This is the real current market value. This is not a dream, not an exaggeration. This is reality, right now, in today's auction houses and private sales. This coin is more than valuable. It is a fortune compressed into nickel, a treasure chest in the palm of your hand, a relic that can truly make its owner wealthy overnight. And the best part? This price is not fixed. It is increasing day by day, as more collectors understand the power of minting errors and the extreme rarity of this piece. This is not just treasure, it is a living investment. If you are a collector, here is the golden advice. Always study the error details carefully. Look for the blurred D mint mark at the bottom of the reverse, it will not be sharp. Study the buffalo's tail. If you see that unusual half-tail with a rounded egg-like feature near it, you may be holding one of the most spectacular errors in the Buffalo Nickel series. Condition matters, yes, but for error coins, clarity of the mistake is just as important as wear. If the error is visible and undeniable, the value skyrockets. And remember, whenever such a coin appears on the market, competition is fierce. Be ready to bid, be ready to act, because opportunities like this do not come often. The 1918 D Buffalo Nickel with blurred mint mark and half-tail with egg error is not just a coin. It is a phenomenon, a mistake turned into a miracle, a blunder transformed into a fortune. At $212,000 in today's market, this coin is nothing less than a giant treasure, an investment that will keep growing with time, and a symbol of how even errors can become masterpieces of history. And here, at Rare Coin Secrets USA, we bring you the most faithful, most trustworthy, and most electrifying updates about treasures like this so you never miss a chance to learn, to dream, and maybe even to own. Stay with me because the story only gets bigger and more thrilling from here. 6 more coins remain, each one more suspenseful than the last. And I promise you the best is yet to come. As we continue our journey through the world of legendary nickels, we now arrive at a coin that blends rarity with beauty and history with mystery. The 1934 D Buffalo Nickel, struck at the Denver Mint, is a piece that radiates character. In fine condition and carrying its light gray surface tone born of age and years of dirt, this coin isn't just money, it's an heirloom of the Great Depression era, a living treasure that commands breathtaking value in today's market. The year was 1934. America was clawing its way out of the Great Depression. Families were struggling, yet coins like the Buffalo Nickel kept the economy alive. At the Denver Mint, the presses struck millions of Buffalo nickels, but time has not been kind to them. Many were lost, spent until they became unrecognizable or destroyed over the decades. Yet the Buffalo Nickel, designed in 1913 by James Earl Fraser, remained a symbol of resilience. Its design, honoring both the proud Native American warrior and the mighty buffalo, was a reminder of American strength during difficult times. The 1934 D carries all that history, stamped into nickel and copper, holding the story of an era when every cent mattered. This particular 1934 D Buffalo Nickel is unique for its lightly gray patina, a natural layer formed over decades as dirt and oxidation settled into its surface. But rather than diminishing its value, this patina gives the coin a striking, authentic look. Collectors often prize such toning and natural color because it proves the coin's age and journey through time. In fine condition, the Native American's profile is still visible, the feathers discernible, and the buffalo on the reverse still showing its body and horns with integrity. The D mint mark, sitting proudly on the reverse, sets this coin apart, linking it forever to the Denver Mint. Combined with its aged gray tone, this nickel becomes more than just a collectible, it becomes a storyteller. Make no mistake, the 1934 D Buffalo Nickel is one of the scarcer issues of the series. Collectors know that Denver Mint coins often had smaller production numbers than Philadelphia issues, and time has only worsened their survival rates. But when you add in the condition and unique patina, the demand soars. Collectors crave coins that do not just represent rarity, but personality. And this nickel, with its aged gray layer, carries a character all its own. Every serious collector knows that when coins like this surface, they must act fast, because these are the coins that auctions are built around, the ones that ignite bidding wars and fuel dreams of ownership. And now, the part that will leave you speechless, the value. The 1934 D Buffalo Nickel in fine condition, with its light gray toning, is currently commanding a jaw-dropping $115,000 in the collector's market. Yes, $115,000 for a single nickel. This is not speculation, not fiction. This is the absolute current market price being realized in today's auctions. What once jingled in the pockets of Americans during the Great Depression now stands as a treasure chest of staggering wealth. And here is the undeniable truth. The value of this coin is climbing day by day. Every new auction, every new discovery of demand pushes it higher. It is no longer just a coin, it is a big treasure, a rare relic of America's hardest years, transformed into a fortune of unimaginable size. Owning one is like holding history itself, multiplied in value beyond comprehension. For collectors, this coin teaches vital lessons. First, never underestimate the importance of mint marks. The D of Denver tells a story all its own, and in 1934, it means rarity and power. Second, learn to appreciate the natural toning and patina of coins. Many beginners think dirt or discoloration lowers value, but in truth, a natural gray tone like this can add character and appeal that collectors love. Lastly, always remember, condition matters. Even in fine condition, this coin commands 6 figures. That shows you how powerful rarity and demand can be. Watch for details in the hair, feathers, and buffalo's body, and always verify authenticity with experts before making such a monumental acquisition. The 1934 D Buffalo nickel in fine condition, dressed in its beautiful light gray patina, is far more than an old coin. It is a living treasure of America's history, a reminder of resilience in hard times, and a coin that commands awe in today's market. With a current value of $115,000, it stands as a fortune in nickel and copper, an investment that only grows more powerful with time. This is no ordinary collectible. This is a masterpiece, a treasure chest, a coin that carries within it the weight of history and the promise of wealth. And here at Rare Coin Secrets USA, we faithfully bring you these truths, fresh, powerful, and trustworthy, because our mission is to share with you the coins that aren't just valuable, they are life-changing. Stay with me because we still have 5 more rare buffalo and war nickels to unveil, and each one will take your breath away with its rarity, its story, and its astonishing value. The deeper we travel into the world of rare buffalo nickels, the more astonishing the discoveries become. And now we arrive at a coin that is unlike anything you've ever seen, a coin that bears not just history, but a scar, a mark of uniqueness that transforms it from a simple piece of currency into a treasure of immeasurable value. I'm talking about the 1936 D Buffalo nickel, with a rare minting error showing a wound-like line across the buffalo's back at the waist. This is not just a coin, it is a phenomenon, a mistake turned into a masterpiece, a flaw that became a fortune. The year was 1936. America was still recovering from the Great Depression, and the Denver Mint was hard at work striking buffalo nickels. By this time, James Earl Fraser's buffalo nickel design had already become legendary, symbolizing the rugged spirit of America with the proud Native American profile on the obverse and the powerful buffalo on the reverse. But in Denver, something happened during the minting process. A flaw in the die created a strange and unforgettable mark across the buffalo's waistline. Instead of a smooth, majestic figure, the buffalo appeared as though it had been wounded, struck with a scar that would forever distinguish this coin from all others. This wounded buffalo variety became one of the most famous minting errors in the entire buffalo nickel series, elevating the 1936 D into legendary status. Turn this coin over and your eyes are immediately drawn to the buffalo. In fine condition, its horns, hump, and legs are still clear enough to command respect. But then you see the mark running across its back at the waist, a line that looks like a wound etched by accident during the striking. This is what collectors live for: uniqueness. No 2 coins are exactly alike, but this particular flaw is recognizable and dramatic. It makes the coin look almost alive, as though history itself branded it with a scar. Combined with the bold D mint mark of Denver, this coin becomes a powerful statement: rare, beautiful, and absolutely unforgettable. Make no mistake, the 1936 D wounded buffalo nickel is one of the most sought-after errors in all of numismatics. Standard 1936 D nickels already have collector appeal, but add in this unmistakable minting error, and demand soars into the stratosphere. Collectors do not just want this coin, they chase it. They compete for it. They dream of owning it. Error coins always bring fire to the auction house, but this one carries a legend all its own. Only a very small number are known in fine condition or better, and every time one surfaces, it makes headlines. And now comes the part that will truly leave you breathless. In today's collector's market, a 1936 D Buffalo nickel with the wounded buffalo error in fine condition is commanding an astonishing $130,000. Yes, you heard that right. $130,000 for a nickel. And let me be crystal clear. This is not fiction. This is not exaggeration. This is the absolute current market reality. This coin is more than valuable. It is a fortune, a big treasure compacted into nickel and copper. The market value of this coin is climbing steadily, day by day. The truth is simple. This is the kind of coin that can make you rich overnight and wealthier still as time passes, because treasures like this only grow rarer. When you hold this coin, you don't just hold a collectible, you hold a scarred legend, a treasure chest that shines brighter with every passing year. For collectors, this coin is a masterclass in recognizing errors. Always study the buffalo on the reverse carefully. If you see that unmistakable line across its back at the waist, you may be staring at the wounded buffalo variety. Combine that with the letter D mint mark below the words 5 cents, and you've confirmed something extraordinary. Condition matters, of course. The clearer the details of the Native American's face and the buffalo's features, the more valuable the coin. But for this variety, the visibility of the wound error itself is the crown jewel. That single mark transforms this coin from ordinary to legendary. The 1936 D Buffalo Nickel, Wounded Buffalo Error, is one of the most breathtaking treasures in American coinage. It tells a story of history, resilience, and imperfection turned into perfection. With a current value of $130,000, it stands tall as one of the great error coins, a big treasure whose demand and price grow stronger every single day. This is no ordinary nickel. It is a scarred masterpiece, a fortune etched in metal, and a treasure that belongs in the heart of every world-class collection. And here at Rare Coin Secrets USA, we continue to bring you the most faithful, most trustworthy, and most exciting updates about coins like this. Coins that change lives and rewrite the story of value itself. Stay tuned, because we still have 4 more extraordinary nickels to reveal, each carrying its own mystery, beauty, and unimaginable value. And I promise you the journey only gets more thrilling from here. Our journey now takes us into a chapter of American history when even coins became weapons of war. In the middle of World War II, when the nation was fighting for survival, the United States, Mint altered its coinage to support the war effort. Out of this struggle was born the Jefferson War Nickel, a coin unlike any other. And today, we focus on one of its most breathtaking survivors, the 1943 with S War Nickel with large mint mark, preserved in fine condition, marked by its unique black spots of age and dark gray toning. This coin is not just currency. It is a relic of war, a survivor of history, and a treasure that holds both memory and immense value. The year was 1943. America was fully engaged in World War II. Nickel, an essential metal for making weapons and armor, was desperately needed on the battlefield. To conserve this vital resource, the United States Mint made a bold decision. They removed nickel from the 5-cent coin's composition. Instead, they struck war nickels using a mixture of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. This gave the coins a slightly different look and feel, sometimes a bit darker, sometimes showing spots or unusual toning, which today make them even more distinctive. The San Francisco Mint, marked with the bold letter S above Monticello's dome on the reverse, produced these coins in 1943. And while millions were struck, very few survived in the kind of collectible condition that we prize today. This particular 1943 with S War Nickel stands out for more than just its mint mark. Look at its black spots on Jefferson's profile, marks created naturally over decades by dirt, toning, and oxidation. Far from hurting its appeal, these spots give the coin an authentic, battle-worn character, almost as if it still carries the shadows of the wartime years it was born in. The dark gray shade across the coin only adds to its striking beauty. In fine condition, Jefferson's face is still visible with strong detail, and Monticello on the reverse retains its architectural shape. The large S mint mark, bold and proud above the building, leaves no doubt about its origin at the San Francisco Mint. Together, these features make this coin not only a collectible, but a work of living history. Though many 1943 with S nickels were made, the reality is that true collectible survivors are rare. Most were spent, abused, or melted down, and their silver content often made them vulnerable to loss. But coins like this, fine condition, with natural wartime patina, are rare jewels that collectors chase with passion. The War Nickels series has a devoted following because it ties directly to America's greatest struggle, World War II. And within that series, coins with natural dark toning and mint-specific traits, like the large S mint mark, are in high demand. Collectors know that owning one means holding a piece of the war effort in their hands, an artifact that once symbolized sacrifice and now symbolizes wealth. And now, let's unveil the treasure's true weight. The 1943 with S. Jefferson War Nickel, with large mint mark, in fine condition, with its black spots and dark gray toning, is commanding a staggering $93,000 in today's collector's market. Yes, $93,000 for a wartime nickel. And let me assure you, this is no exaggeration. This is the absolute current market value for this rare piece. Think about it. What was once used in wartime America for everyday purchases is now a treasure chest, a coin that embodies history, survival, and wealth. Its value is not stagnant. It is growing day by day as demand for war nickels only intensifies. To hold this coin is to hold not just silver, it is to hold a big treasure, a relic of World War II transformed into a fortune. Collectors, listen carefully. For war nickels, always check the mint mark, it is the key. On the year 1943 with S, you'll see a large S directly above Monticello on the reverse. Make sure it is bold and true. Also, don't shy away from natural toning or black spotting. Many new collectors assume discoloration lowers value, but on silver-rich war nickels, these spots and gray shades prove authenticity and history. They actually add to the appeal, giving each coin its own personality. And remember, condition matters. Even fine examples like this one are commanding huge sums. Learn to study Jefferson's profile and Monticello's columns for detail. The 1943 with S. Jefferson, war nickel with large mint mark, fine condition, and natural black spotted gray patina is not just a wartime coin, it is a treasure of immense rarity and value. With a current market price of $93,000, it stands as proof that even in times of sacrifice, beauty and wealth were forged. This coin is a survivor of war, a masterpiece of silver and copper, and a big treasure whose story grows more powerful every year. And here, on Rare Coin Secrets USA, you will always hear the faithful truth about coins like this. Fresh updates, trustworthy insights, and treasures that prove beyond doubt that numismatics is not just collecting, but discovering hidden fortunes. Stay tuned, because 3 more extraordinary coins await you, each one more suspenseful and breathtaking than the last. The best is yet to come. The deeper we journey into the realm of war nickels, the closer we come to the heart of history itself. And today, we arrive at one of the most meaningful coins of the entire series, the 1942 with P. Jefferson War Nickel. This is not just a coin. This is the beginning of a new chapter in American coinage, struck in a time when the fate of the free world was at stake. In fine condition, carrying its gray, time-worn shade and its commanding P mint mark above Monticello, this treasure embodies both history and fortune. The year 1942 was unlike any other. America had just entered World War II after the attack on Pearl Harbor. The nation mobilized with everything it had. Factories turned to wartime production, resources were rationed, and even the U.S. Mint was called to serve. Nickel, the very metal that gave the 5-cent coin its name, was urgently needed for weapons, tanks, and armor plating. So the government made a historic decision. The 5-cent coin would no longer contain nickel. Instead, it would be struck with a special wartime alloy of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. Thus, in 1942, the war nickel was born, and with it came something collectors had never seen before, a large mint mark placed above Monticello's dome on the reverse. The P mark of the Philadelphia Mint, once invisible, was suddenly bold and clear, a wartime symbol of change, and a sign that the coin itself had a mission greater than money. This 1942 with P War Nickel carries all the hallmarks of history. On the obverse, Jefferson's strong profile shows the dignity of a founding father, while the reverse features the proud Monticello. But the eye is immediately drawn to the large P mint mark towering above the dome. That mint mark is more than just a letter. It is a symbol of wartime sacrifice, of America's determination to adapt and survive. No coin before 1942 ever bore the letter P mint mark at all. This was the first time in history that Philadelphia's mark appeared on U.S. coinage. And then there is the coin's beautiful gray shade, its naturally aged surface that whispers of the decades it has survived. Those subtle tones, that old-world look, give the coin a character no modern minting can replicate. In fine condition, its design remains bold enough to impress, yet its patina reminds us that this is a coin that has truly lived through history. Collectors know that the 1942 with P War nickel is more than just rare, it is foundational. It represents the very start of the War nickel series, and it carries the first ever appearance of the Philadelphia P on a U.S. coin. That alone makes it one of the most demanded issues in numismatics. Every serious War nickel collection begins here, with the 1942 P. And because most of these coins were heavily used in circulation during the war years, finding one in fine condition, with good detail and natural gray toning, is a prize worth fighting for. Demand for this coin has never weakened. In fact, it continues to grow, as more collectors recognize the historical importance and the shrinking supply of high-grade survivors. And now comes the moment that transforms admiration into astonishment. The 1942 with P. Jefferson War nickel, fine condition, with its large P mint mark and beautiful gray patina, is currently valued at a staggering $90,000. Yes, you heard correctly. $90,000 for a nickel that once circulated during the darkest days of World War II. And this is not an inflated claim or a collector's dream, it is the absolute current market reality. This is no ordinary coin. This is a big treasure, a fortune struck in silver and copper, a relic of sacrifice now commanding wealth beyond imagination. Its market value is not frozen. It is rising steadily day by day. This is the kind of treasure that makes collectors realize they are not simply holding coins, they are holding fortunes, history, and power. For collectors, the key is always the mint mark. On the 1942 with P, the letter P is large, bold, and centered proudly above Monticello. If you see it, you know you are holding one of the first war nickels ever made. Study the condition carefully. Look for Jefferson's cheek and hair details, and the clarity of Monticello's dome. Even in fine condition, this coin commands tremendous value. Do not overlook natural toning or gray shades. They add authenticity and beauty, showing the coin's honest journey through time. The 1942 with P. Jefferson. War nickel is not just a rare coin. It is a historic treasure, a coin that marks the beginning of America's wartime coinage. With its large P mint mark, its dignified gray patina, and its survival through decades of history, it stands as one of the greatest treasures of the entire nickel series. With a current market value of $90,000, this coin is more than wealth. It is a big treasure chest in the palm of your hand, a reminder that history and fortune often walk hand in hand. Here at Rare Coin Secrets USA, we bring you faithful, truthful, and daily updates on treasures like this, coins that not only tell stories but change lives. And believe me, the journey is not over. We still have 2 more extraordinary coins to reveal, each one carrying suspense, history, and treasure that will keep your heart racing. Stay with me, the best is still to come. As our journey nears its climax, we now reach the end of an extraordinary era, the final year of America's wartime nickels. And standing tall at the close of this historic chapter is the 1945 with S. Jefferson War nickel, a coin that carries with it not only wealth but also the memory of victory and the conclusion of one of America's greatest struggles. This coin, in fine condition with its bold S mint mark and its aged gray shade, is more than a collectible. It is a farewell to war coinage and a treasure of peace and prosperity. By 1945, the world was finally beginning to breathe again. World War II was drawing to a close, and victory was within reach. For 3 long years, America had sacrificed nickel metal for the war effort, striking millions of 5-cent pieces in a special composition of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. The San Francisco Mint was a proud participant in this effort, producing the 1945 S. Jefferson nickel. These coins bore the distinctive large mint mark above Monticello's dome, serving as a bold reminder of their wartime origins. But unlike earlier issues, the 1945 strikes hold a special significance. They were the last war nickels ever made. The following year, the nickel returned to its original metal composition, ending this brief but legendary chapter in American coinage. That's what makes 1945 with S such a treasure. It is not just a coin, it is the final note in a symphony of sacrifice and victory. On this coin, Jefferson's profile still carries strength even after decades of circulation. The fine condition ensures that his features remain clear, while Monticello on the reverse holds its architectural dignity. But the eye, of course, is drawn to that powerful S mint mark standing proudly above the dome. Large and unmistakable, it declares that this treasure was struck in San Francisco at the very end of the war. Then comes the gray shade of its surface, the natural patina of time, which makes this coin glow with authenticity. Far from diminishing its beauty, the toning transforms it into a piece of living history. You can almost feel the years, the circulation, and the journey it took to survive until today. This combination of the final wartime year, the large letter S mint mark, and the coin's dignified patina makes the 1945 S. Jefferson War Nickel a collector's masterpiece. Collectors prize the 1945 with S because it represents the very last of its kind. It is the final issue in the War Nickel series, and for that reason alone, it is an essential coin in any serious collection. But beyond its historical importance, this coin is rare in fine condition. Many were heavily used during and after the war, their silver composition leading to attrition over time. To find one still holding its details, still glowing with its natural gray toning, is to uncover a survivor of the greatest war humanity has ever seen. The demand for this coin continues to rise. Collectors know that owning the 1945 S is like owning the final page of a great story, and with each passing year, the supply of quality survivors shrinks. And now, let us unveil its worth in today's market. The 1945 with S. Jefferson, War Nickel, fine condition, gray patina, with its large S mint mark, is commanding a current value of $81,500. Yes, $81,500 for a single wartime nickel. This is no myth, no exaggeration. This is the absolute current market truth. Think about it. This is not just a coin. This is a treasure chest disguised as a nickel, a relic of victory and survival that today brings fortune to those wise enough to preserve it. And its value is not standing still, it is climbing, day by day, as more collectors chase the final jewel of the War Nickel series. To hold this coin is to hold a big treasure, a fortune that proves history itself can turn into wealth. Collectors, here is your key insight. When searching for the 1945 with S, always look for that large S mint mark. It is the guarantee of San Francisco's final wartime strike. Examine the patina carefully. The natural gray shade is a sign of authenticity and history, not a flaw. Coins that have survived with honest toning are the most desirable. And while uncirculated specimens are rare and untouchable, even fine condition examples, like this one, command enormous prices because of their historic importance. The 1945 with S is not just another war nickel. It is the last war nickel, and collectors will always pursue the final issue of a series with unmatched passion. The 1945 with S. Jefferson War Nickel is a treasure like no other. With its bold mint mark, its dignified gray patina, and its place as the final coin of the War Nickel era, it stands as a symbol of sacrifice, victory, and immense value. With a current market price of $81,500, this coin is not just valuable, it is a big fortune in your hands, a living reminder that history creates treasures beyond measure. Here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we remain faithful, truthful, and fresh every day, bringing you the secrets of coins that are not just collectibles, but treasures that change lives. And there you have it, 10 nickels, each one a legend, each one a fortune in its own right. Think about it. What started as simple pocket change has become a treasure chest worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. These are not just coins, they are time machines. They are treasures of America's past, and today they are rewriting the future with their staggering values. Now, here's the truth. This market is alive, and these prices are climbing every single day. What is worth $80,000 or $200,000 today could be worth double tomorrow. Don't take my word as hype. This is current, this is real, this is the treasure hunt of a lifetime. And this is exactly why Rare Coin Secrets USA exists, to bring you the most trustful, faithful, daily updates from inside the world of rare coins. I'm not giving you rumors. I'm giving you reality. The secrets that make collectors rich in history come alive in your own hands. So if you are ready to keep discovering coins that can change your life, hit that subscribe button right now, turn on the bell, and become part of the Rare Coin Secrets family. Because what I have coming next is even bigger, even rarer, and even more shocking than what you have seen today. This is not the end. This is only the beginning. Treasure is out there waiting for you,